don't really do the function.
Nope.
I don't fuck with the fuck shit. Throwing on my dummy fit. Fuck it. I'ma pop out.
Welcome back to your second favorite YouTuber. I am J Shep Reaction. We're jumping right into this because this shit is ridiculous, bro. David case is a huge mess. ... I'm gonna go ahead and like the video, you know what I'm saying? Like my video for me, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all. Already know the drill for real, man. I appreciate y'all. And Maury appreciate me liking his video. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this. Now let's read this all back right here. Breaking news. Celeste Rivas's body had been frozen and it looked why did this is TMZ. And it looks like the LA County Medical Examiner will not be able to establish a cause of death. Details at link in bio. I just want to know why David is not locked up already. Now, this right here is the kicker. The body was frozen, but they found it in a vehicle impound. And the reason they found it is because the body smelled from decaying. I don't know if you guys know this, but if something is frozen, it cannot emit a smell. So what the fuck are they talking about? Secondly, how are they examining the body if I could have sworn they released the body for her family can have a funeral? This shit already got me mad as hell.
Yeah. So guys, I know I'm late to this story, but I just want to say I did see it first day one. I saw the breaking news about Celeste's body being found frozen, so they say, TMZ claim. And not gonna lie, I actually just refused to make a video on it while everybody else was. I actually didn't even want to cover it because at this point I'm just so confused. I'm just like genuinely confused, and I really just don't.
Because they're making shit up, bro. They're protecting this nigga, bro. David needed, like I said, I don't think he physically did the crime, but he inadvertently is the reason to why this girl got killed. He has something to do with her dying, and that's just how I feel. And I understand you need to do the proper thing, but as we see, even in these I just watched that Predcast video, these niggas don't give a fuck. These goddamn officers do not give a fuck. Not all of them, but it's a good amount of them that do not give a fuck. And especially FBI. We're going to trust the FBI at this point. And then they're talking about the same, what was it? No, that ain't the same one I was about to say. But either way, like all these autopsy, man, like this shit is stupid, bro. This shit is cap. I don't care. And the simple fact that TMZ is like the main one that is a source for all this is just kind of crazy to me. So it just almost seemed like they're trying to brush this under the rug, you know. Because, like, for some reason, I think around the time, I think he did lose followers. And then once, like, what was it, last week? When it came out that he became a suspect or whatever, he was already back up. Like, his following was already back up. And he had got a spike in his music and all that stuff. Like, I'm just like, man, this shit is ridiculous. And it's like I said, he is gifted musically. He is. But this motherfucker is just ill, bro. He needs to go to jail. I don't care, bro. He needs to go to jail, bro. You were 20 years old, mess with a 15-year-old, and then before that, you were, she was 11 or 10 or something like that, and you were fucking 15, 16, bro. Get out of here, bro.
Know what to say anymore. And I'm gonna get to the latest updates, the latest reports, because apparently, although TMZ and a dozen other outlets said that quote-unquote Celeste Rivas's body discovered frozen and cause of death likely undetermined, other latest reports indicate that LAPD captain reveal what cops saw when Celeste Rivas Hernandez was found dead in David's trunk and that she wasn't frozen. So clearly there's a lot of conflicting reports.
And once again, well, not once again, but what I was gonna say, if it was found frozen, why wouldn't they have been said that? TMZ would have been said that. They would have been said that. So, like, why are we going back changing shit, bro? And like I said, they already said they released the body, I don't know, or whatever parts of the body that it was, to the family. So what the fuck are we talking about?
On here, TMZ saying one thing and they have their whistleblowers or their sources, and then LAPD cops, you know, refuting that and saying it wasn't frozen, you know, David is a suspect, David is not, pending investigation, they're looking into it. It's just like this story is so all over the place at this point in time that we don't even know what to believe anymore. And I'm just going to assume this is pure speculation that because there are private investigators on this case and public investigators and detectives funded by the state, that they're finding like conflicting information, their methods methods of investigating this case are different, thereby resulting in conflicting reports in the media. Here we have this one post by Grand Wizard Chat N-word. He says disturbing details have now surfaced from murder of David's 15-year-old girlfriend, Celeste. Investigators believe that she was killed during a late-night Santa Barbara trip and her body decapitated and frozen by a second suspect. The body was then transported to LA via David's Tesla. So it's highly possible, probable that her body was initially frozen. They killed her, froze her body, and then took the body out of whatever freezer. And this is just pure speculation, by the way. I'm just yapping. They took the body, they wanted to transport it, maybe bury it, decided to store it in the trunk, left it there for whatever reason. It thawed out, and you guys already understand it. This is going to be gruesome.
Makes absolutely no fucking sense, because why would the car be left right in front of the house that was owned by him or whatever that he was renting? Doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't care. That, like, if her body was frozen, why wouldn't they had buried it out in Santa Barbara if they killed her there? The fuck are we talking about, bro?
You freeze meat for long periods of times, by the way, and then take it out to thaw in a very hot place, it does start to kind of fall apart depending on the cut of the meat. Mind you, they say she had been in that trunk for at least a month in the hot-ass California heat. So honestly, I'm getting even just disgusted even talking about this.
But now it doesn't make any sense, because shouldn't there have been a smell when it first got told? They said that they reported a smell once it got to the lot a couple days later or something like that. The fucking man, look, this whole shit is just, man, this is goofy. This case is goofy, bro. FBI, do your actual fucking job. I don't know how, whatever, but hey, find some way to get this nigga locked up. He need to be locked up, bro.
Like, somebody has to do life in prison for this. This is actually disturbing to me, just visualizing this right now.
David made in the middle of the night back in this spring
to
a remote area of Santa Barbara County. We are now also told that there is a second suspect, and our information is that the second suspect has something to do with the cutting up of the body. Now, Mark Garagos, who is my co-host on the Two Angry Men podcast, told us in the most recent podcast that his information is that this second suspect is being looked at not just for dismembering the body, but also for what happened before, during, and after Celeste's death. So there is a second suspect that the LAPD has its sights on. They have identified the person. Garriga says he knows who it is, not saying. But it is a second suspect implicated here.
So yeah, just like Harvey Levin just said, you know, the guy co-host of TMZ, I just gotta say, obviously it was obvious to all of us that David wasn't the only one implicated in this case. You know, obviously we knew that there were gonna be multiple people. I don't think David would ever do dirty work himself. And you know, I'm not gonna show everything that I've seen over the past week or so, but I've heard rumors that well, actually it's not even rumors. I literally showed you guys that David he's into gore. You know, he's an edgy boy. I did hear rumors that David might be bi or in the LGBTQ community, and that he may have had some kind of secret boyfriend that got wrapped up in all this. Not sure how that came into the fray. This was something I heard from Trap Lord Ross's video on the situation. And if you don't know who Trap Lord Ross is, he's basically like a hip-hop commentator on YouTube. Good content, good guy, shout out to him. So at this point, I just gotta say and be brutally honest that I'm confused. You know, we've moved on from, you know, Celeste probably trying to speak out to the world and expose the relationship, to her possibly being pregnant, to her possibly being accidentally overdosed on something, or her possibly trying to snitch on David. Meanwhile, I mean, look at all the footage we saw over all these months. Well, to be specific, all the footage we've seen within the last month or two of them while she was alive, streaming and being in photos, and all the it's clear as day they were in some type of relationship. That much is clear. In this other slide, it says investigators say they can charge David and this unnamed second suspect, but are unable to determine the cause of death due to the body being completely frozen. Investigators reveal the torso of Celeste was still intact, but her arms were chopped up into pieces to fit in the trunk. So guys, I'm even more confused now. I'm going to assume that she may have been chopped up prior to being frozen and then moved to a different location, put in another.
That's what I kept saying. I don't believe that her body fell apart. Somebody chopped her body up. I kept saying that. Somebody chopped her body up. Her body didn't just fall apart from being decayed and all. No, I don't believe that shit. Nope. Somebody chopped this little girl body up, bro. Somebody chopped this little girl body up, bro. Like, this shit is sick, bro. This shit is sick, bro. Literally.
Freezer, then thawed out while she was transported to this trunk, and then deteriorated even further. Like, it's just crazy, man. This entire story is sickening. And I guess it makes sense. You know, Tesla, like, the front trunks are pretty small. They're not that big. And I'm not entirely sure how big Celeste was.
Here. So obviously the question, how on earth did this body go from Santa Barbara, if that's indeed where it was taken? And that seems to be the operating theory of the LAPD, that if it was taken to Santa Barbara, how did it end up back in Los Angeles in the trunk of David's car in a residential neighborhood? The only thing that makes sense, and that's months and months later, the only thing that makes sense is that based on connecting the dots, it would seem that this body was put in a freezer for an extended period of time, and it was so frozen that by the time it got in the car, it took a long time for it to unfreeze, and it had not fully unfrozen at the time the body was discovered at the impound lot. So again,
all right, so check this out, because that sounds stupid. That sounds retarded. Okay, so if you froze the body and they took this trip from Santa Barbara, to Santa Barbara months and months ago, right? If you take, like how he was saying, for example, you take frozen meat out of the freezer and you leave it out, like, in whatever room temperature, it's going to take a while to unthaw. You know, maybe like 4 or 5 hours, I want to say, to completely unthaw. I want to say that. But we're talking about a body being in a trunk. So they drove that car all the way to LA from Santa Barbara. You know what I'm saying? And let me actually see how far away Santa Barbara is from LA. How far is Santa Barbara from LA?
Santa Barbara, California is about 95 miles from Los Angeles, California by car.
95 miles from Los Angeles, and it's a 1 hour 50-minute drive. So then you're trying to tell me that they would have had to have gone back to Santa Barbara, put the body in the trunk, then wherever they were storing it, parked the car right in front of his house. Mind you, he wasn't in LA, so he's excused from this. He wasn't in LA during this time. He was on tour. So whoever it was, they put the body in the car, parked it outside of the front of the house. It was outside of the front of the house for like, I don't know how many days until it got towed. So you're trying to tell me, right? It took basically at least about 8 days for this body to fully unthaw, to start emitting a smell. I just feel like that's bullshit. I just feel like the body would have been unthawed by, I don't know, maybe like a couple days, especially like how he said it's in the blazing hot heat of fucking LA and it's summertime and it's in a trunk, sun blazing. The fuck are we talking about? No, bro, no. Like, fuck this nigga. Like fuck TMZ, period. I don't give a fuck. All these sources that y'all got and shit, man, I'm tired of this goofy shit, bro. Y'all lame, bro. Quit reporting on this shit, getting money off of this shit, and you don't like. I'm tired of this shit, bro. Stop using this little girl name in vain like this, bro. Or whatever, man. Or not using her. I don't even know, man. Shit, man. And that's not even me like using her name either. I'm using this David. Cause David needs to get locked the fuck up. That's what I believe, bro. He needs to get locked the fuck up, bro. That's what it is, bro. And that's not to say I'm better than TMZ. I'm just saying, bro. They got a long track record of using people for, that's how they make their money. I don't know how that works. But I don't trust TMZ.
Looks like there may never be a cause of death determined by the medical examiner. The body was frozen. Just keep looking at TMZ. We will have more updates as the days pass.
That is crazy to me. That is, again, somebody needs to do life in prison, and I don't want them to receive the death penalty. I want them to suffer every day that they exist on this planet. Like, genuinely speaking, at this moment, I don't really have any enemies. Yeah, I'm the meme. Bro has no enemies. But at this point in time, I don't even think I would wish this type of death on my worst enemy. Like, when they finally get convicted for this crime, whether it's David or somebody else in his camp or multiple people at once, and they finally go to prison, bro. It's like, I don't think they're gonna last more than a week. First of all, prisoners have children who look like Celeste, around Celeste's age, or remind them of their sisters, their little sisters, man. Like, this shit is genuinely disturbing. Footage of David flinching after seeing a girl who looked like his ex Celeste after he allegedly killed her in the woods in Santa Barbara, chopped her limbs, and froze her body. So it looks like he got PTSD, some flashbacks right there, and any girl or woman who looks like the Celeste archetype might have jump scared him at this point in time, for obvious reasons. Here we have this guy who claims to have been a bodyguard for David, saying that he helped him bury her or some shit.
Last week, bro.
Yeah, I was with Consonant.
Hey, how much?
Listen, did you hear about the David case? The
Oh,
singer.
David with the
Yes.
slat in the back trunk.
He was
yeah.
the bodyguard for him.
I helped him bury her. It's crazy.
Dude, oh, no.
Why would you even joke
Why the fuck would you say some, man?
that, bro? Like, clout chasing in today's day and age is just getting ridiculous.
Hell no. Hell no.
Yo, bro.
Like, that is just so weird, man. And then here we have an image of this guy. I don't know. It kind of looks like AI, or it could be upscaled. I don't know. But this guy named Marky Next Door. I don't know who this is supposed to be. Hopefully, this isn't AI. I'm just going to assume this is just clout chasing at its finest. Like, genuinely speaking, how sick in the head do you have to be to try and attach your face to the killing of a 15-year-old, 14-year-old girl just because you want followers that bad? Like, this is genuine mental illness.
Crashing. Where'd it go wrong? Ghost.
Yeah, apparently David was naming a lot of his songs from his last album after the crime he committed. Allegedly, of course, in regards to Celeste's disappearance and death.
Where did you go? Afterlife?
Yeah, it's too on the nose. It really is. Guys, though,
It's also her talking on that interlude, Invisible String Theory. That's her talking.
thoughts and opinions down below. What do you think about this? You know, as soon as it felt like we were getting somewhere, it feels like now we're just retracting. We are reversing course. And now people are saying in the comments, without a cause of death, you cannot charge anyone with her murder because there's no proof she was murdered. Well, I mean, she's dead, bro. Like, what? Clearly someone killed her. I don't think she chopped her own self up and put herself in a trunk. They just can't prove, I guess, David or anybody in his camp did it. Although it was literally in his car. How do you even explain that in court? How do you explain a dead body? This is why I say if this were anybody else, they would have already been charged and convicted already. How do you explain a dead body popping up in your trunk, bro? Like, what is even your alibi? But they go on to say the investigation now has to be who put her in the trunk and why. This is the amount of leeway and grace this man has gotten, dog. It's crazy, bro. Like, he has to be protected by the most high, powerful people in our government. There's just no way. Anyway, thoughts and opinions down below. What do you think about this? Sorry, I don't have the answers. I'm just a commentator, bro. And honestly, I'm just as confused as all of you are listening to this right now. So yeah, thoughts and opinions down below. You already know what to do. If you have any other videos or topics or stories you want me to cover, you already know to do follow me on Instagram.
Yeah, bro. Real talk, man. David, I don't know, man. You probably is out here watching some of these videos and shit. Fuck you, bro. Real talk, man. You weird as hell, bro. You weird. And you know, if you did do something to that little girl, bro, I don't care if that little girl was trying to kill you. Because you knew you shouldn't have been messing with her. I don't care if she was trying to harm you. Hell, man, you shouldn't have been messing with no girl that young. Like, you're horrible. You're horrible. I hope your family, like, which, I mean, I guess they knew somewhat of your relationship, I guess, but I hope that they holding you accountable, at least something, you know. But I mean, I guess them holding you accountable would be calling the cops on you if they know anything. So I don't know. I don't know, and I don't know where you moved to, but hey, man, you deserve to be heckled every single day. You deserve to deal with people coming outside in front of your lawn, spewing hatred towards you. Because not only, like I said, I don't think you killed her. I don't think you personally put your hands on her and killed her, right? Okay. I think you're a piece of shit for fucking with a 15-year-old girl and you're 20. That's just how I feel about it. That's what I think. And like I said, it makes it worse because you are indirectly the reason why this girl is dead. Cause she wouldn't have been around places that she was around, or it was more of a possibility that she wouldn't be around those places if you would have let her stay home at her family, with her family, whatever. Like, that girl should have been in school. Don't get me wrong, fuck school and all, but that girl should have been at school in September. That girl shouldn't be dead. That shit lame as fuck, bro. Man, I'm real worked up, man. I ain't even got no outro for y'all, for real, man. Look, I'll catch y'all in the next video, man. Deuces.